Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Theresa here, and welcome back to December Daily 2021. I am picking back up with this album. I completed about days 1 to 10 or 12 last year, and then did a couple of pages back in July, and now it's time to jump back in again. And so my goal is to finish this month, and I wanted to start with day 15 today. So let me tell you a little bit about the idea for this page and how I'm hoping to bring it to life. The story for the day was our date night to see the Nutcracker Ballet in Winston-Salem. And so the idea I had was I found these adorable little die cuts in the Silhouette Design store, and I will have the links below for these little cuties. And there was a set of die cuts and also a set of alphabets for this little set, and so I thought that it would be cute to do a little spinner page. So I did a couple of things first. I printed and cut 2 sets of the die cuts. They are mirrored on the other set, so there will be front and back for each little character that I use. And then I also printed out the alphabet. It's printed on sticker paper, and I printed it twice. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use this, but it's there and it's available for me if I decide to. And then I also cut 2 pages. There's a front and a back with ovals that are cut for the spinners. And so my concept is to have the little Nutcracker and the ballerina inside the oval, and they'll be able to spin. At least that's my idea. So I needed a front piece of cardstock and a back piece of cardstock. The front piece will be day 15, and then the back piece will be day 16. And so more on that in the next video. But that's the base for the page. And so what I did in Photoshop was opened up the blank canvas, laid out the elements themselves for the page. So the photos, journaling cards, pattern papers. I'll show you those here. I've got those laid out too. I left a little bit of space on the left-hand side to be able to punch the page and put it in the album. And then I printed the elements that are going to go on top. So this will be the actual page that goes in the album. And then these are my photos and journal card pattern papers. The pattern papers and the journal card are from Sahlin Studio from the December collection. And I also printed out some of the word strips and a couple of little embellishments as well to continue to make this a complete layout. So I'm going to go ahead and get started filming. Of course, I also have some number choices there, and they'll come in at some point. So I hope you have fun watching. Okay, so I think where I'm going to start here is with the Nutcrackers and the ballerina, and go ahead and get the page created. And so I have the background page with the ovals cut twice so that the twine can be sandwiched in between those 2 layers. And so one will be the front, one will be the back. And so you can see here I grabbed a slightly thicker twine. It's navy, which I thought would go with the other products in the collection. It's probably a little thicker than what it needs to be, but I think that's okay. And then I'm just taping that down with regular Scotch tape trimming it up a little bit, and then you'll notice when I add the red line tape to sandwich these together, I'm going to make sure that that red line tape covers those connection points, just to help them stay a little bit better, a little insurance policy there. And I don't anticipate that they're going to be played with a lot. So it'll be fine. And then here you can see me adding that top layer. And I think it worked out pretty well. I didn't quite get the pages lined up straight, but I'm just going to trim them down and keep on trucking. And then the next step will be to add the nutcrackers and the ballerina. And so I did print those out twice and cut those twice. So there's one for the front and one for the back. And that way they can be sandwiched together, and that twine will be sandwiched in between them. So that's the basis of this insert. And here you can see I'm going to just kind of loosely lay out the elements here on the page. It looks really nice in person. I think I got some things mixed up from how I had planned to do it, and that's fine. But I am just kind of alternating journal card, photo, pattern paper, photo, pattern paper. And I just kind of chose some of the pattern papers that I felt repeated the colors that were in the Nutcracker, namely that blue and the red. Those are really pretty colors. And so I also had printed just a few of the elements from the December kit. And so you can see those. I planned out exactly what elements I was going to use. Some of them were printed onto the photo. You can see that the photo on the bottom row, it says December Stories. That I just printed before I just added that to the photo and printed it all together. And then also on the navy pattern paper with the deer on it, I centered that deer and then did the December countdown across the bottom. That December countdown is one of the digital elements in the kit as well. And so then I had the plan for the white pattern paper that was going to house my journaling. So I printed out the little red journaling spot for that, or red label. And I'm going to go ahead and write out my journaling about seeing the Nutcracker for the first time. And then I'm going to tuck in a couple of the little embellishments. I think I'm a little bit nervous about attaching the nutcrackers and the ballerina. So I'm kind of putting that off a little bit, but that's fine. You know, get your nerve up and then figure it out. Get all the rest of the layout done and then ruin it. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to get ruined. But I had some other little word strips here, a little washi that I added. I was looking at some of the other little stickers that were a part of the Nutcracker, that little kit. And so I tucked in a few of those little candies too. And then I also wanted to add one more little element here to this navy blue pattern paper. And I had cut out this little green Christmas tree circle. And so it just needed a little bit more trimming to fit inside that little wreath. So, all right. I think I've got the layout created. I will go back and add just one more thing later on. I bet you can guess what it is that's missing. But I'm going to go ahead and work on the little characters here. And so I'm just placing one of the nutcrackers behind the twine adding this red line tape and centering that as best as I can. And then I'll add the second one on top. And they are, I do recommend making them just a little bit smaller than what I did. Just because it is a little bit snug, but look how cute that is, and it spins. It actually works. So yay, I'm considering it a success. I didn't ruin anything. And so this turned out to be a really fun way to interpret this layout idea and to incorporate a spinner element into my albums. And it's the first time I've done spinners. So I would definitely do it again. I think that there's some things that you learn along the way. Definitely make your, whatever you're making to spin, to make it a little bit smaller than your circles that you're putting it in, or ovals in this case. But it looks great, and I'm really excited about how it turned out. It was a lot of fun to do this. I was surprised at how few Nutcracker themed choices there seem to be in our community. It's kind of strange, but I will have all the links for all of these products. Just to give credit, the Nutcracker stickers are available in the Silhouette Design store, and they were designed by Shiba. And then you'll see the alphas that I'm going to use. They've been shown already. Those alphas are from Illustration Inc. I thought that they went together, but they don't actually go together. They weren't actually designed by the same people, but they go together really well. So all in all, a great evening and a really fun layout. So the thing that I had forgotten was the number. Oh my word, how did I do that? But I'm just going to add one really quickly here at the top. I ended up going with one from the Sahlin Studio December Days collection. I'll link below which one it is. There's like 8 December Days number sets, I think. They're all amazing. I recommend having them all in your stash. So that's the one I chose. It's just a little red banner. It seemed to echo the vertical lines from the Nutcrackers and the ballerinas. So I like that a lot. I'm going to go ahead and punch this out. Punch, punch, punch. And get that finished up. And then I'm going to do an overlay for this. And that's how I'm going to use the alphabets. Originally, I had thought that I would do a strip in the middle and have the Nutcracker spelled out in the middle going across this page. But when I designed it in Photoshop, it really made the photos and the journaling card short. And so I just thought that it would be best to maximize the real estate on this page for the photos and all these elements, and then have an overlay for the title, which of course is going to say the Nutcracker. So I also needed an overlay to put the alphabet on, or the title on. So I'm going to go grab one from my stash. And so first I thought, well, why don't I do a 3x8 overlay and do a vertical oriented title. And so these are just a couple that I've had from Ali Edwards for a long time. And when I kind of did the math about how many letters it was going to be, how would the letters fit on those transparencies, I wasn't really happy with it. But I'm going to go ahead here and spell out Nutcracker so that I can gauge sort of how much space I need. So there's Nutcracker and how that looks, and that's where I realized that it really fit kind of tight. And I thought, well, what if I split it up? Well, no, that still didn't work. So yeah, full page overlay is going to be important. So I'm going to run and get that. And the one that I decided on is the silver stars. And again, it's one I had from my stash. It's from Hobby Lobby. And I thought that the red and pink layered onto that silver would be pretty fun. Notice how it was a nice thing that I was putting this on a vellum, because I layered it over top of my cutting mat so that I had a center line. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to try to keep it in the center. It's in the center top to bottom, but slightly offset to the right, just to allow for the punch on the left hand side. And then of course I gotta trim it down, so that makes it really easy to go in the album, the 8.5 by 11 size. It just needed to be trimmed down to 8 1/4, and then punch, punch, punch again, and it'll be ready to go in the album. So welcome back to December Daily for 2021. I'm going to be sharing some of the pages from this album throughout the month. I will also be sharing some of my 2022 December Daily Foundation pages with you very soon, so I hope that you'll subscribe. Let me know what you like about this layout, and I'll see you back here again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.